because that's not they say we're Radha Desh, we're the Dham of Krishna. You go there and it's kind of dry, man. The deities are covered up. Here they're not covered up. They're in full expression, aren't they? Full truth. Oh, we don't hold back, do we? We don't spare anybody. No, why should the truth spare anybody for their own benefit, even though they don't understand? Well, how dare you point out my faults? How dare you show the world that we can't do anything for anybody? How dare you do that? Well, I dare, triple dare do it for your sake, and for the sake of your followers idling their time away, going in the kingdom of God in some other way other than the only authorized way that the Bhagavatam says, the devotee, the associate of the Lord, the empowered, anointed devotee. There's no other way and never will be. That's what we're here to establish. That's called Guru Tattva. That's the door to bhakti. Now you'll know what real bhakti is when you really understand that. Without doubt, especially. And you think we're just saying it only just because Gaur Hari Das is saying it for himself? Yeah, well, anybody like that. You find somebody, but we don't, do we? Nobody will come. Come on, just somebody step forward and show that you're a real guru, man, that you deliver your disciples. Show me, show us. That's how rare they are. Even Prabhupada knew it. And they weren't even delivering. They're only delivering after a time, after a few lifetimes. He even admitted it. Oh, well, if you come in the Krishna consciousness movement, Prabhupada said this, you'll get a human birth. That's he was doing that. We're going for more. We want to 10x that, as they say in crypto. 20x, 100x. Why 10x? 100x that. Human birth? Are you kidding? Divine birth in this life. Forget this human birth in the next. Divine birth in this life. Anybody with us? Raise your hand. Raise your fist. Raise your fist, man. Find a hand. No, not a little hand like that. Fist. Yeah. Absolutely. God, this is turning out to be a wild escapade. I can't help it. Bhagavatam gets me excited sometimes. I just, these verses are just treasures, like, my God, Dwarka, who wouldn't want to be protected by the arms of God? He has arms, by the way, and you start to feel him. It's like, Lalita was saying, I feel Radha's feet dancing on my head, Yeah, you could feel these things. You feel God's presence, man. He's got substance.
Thanks for using.
If you're a devotee, but if you're not, then where is he? Oh, yeah, he's the government. Yeah. It's the government. They're going to control government, See, I like the government control. I like Krishna's government. I like him, governing me. He's very, don't people want freedom? You're free in the Lord. Radha and Krishna, this worship, man, you're free bird. You're like Narada Muni, even in this life. Yesterday, Janaki and I were going down the street, free in Krishna, chanting, and people felt it. You can look at the video, man. They're feeling it, man. Hey, look at these guys are free. Yeah, why? Because we're free in Radha and Krishna, in love of God, in loving the Lord, in the loving engaging in the loving service of the Lord. In engaging in the order of Lord Chaitanya, who came for Kali Yuga. Please engage in Sankirtan like we're doing. This is Sankirtan. Glorifying the Lord, man. Any opportunity. What else is there for the world? The poor, hungry people in the world. They're starving to death, skinny. Even the fat ones are skinny. Not eating properly. They don't even know what real food is. They're eating synthetic food by the government. These all the rules and regulations, you know, they're all under Maya's hypnosis. I learned some yesterday. Spells. Everybody's under a spell. All everything in this world is created by illusions and managed by demons right now because they're really into spells and they even put it right in our face. I can't believe it, right in our face. Spelling words, and they're all to control you. All these laws and everything are spells to control free people. See, here you learn spelling in school, right? Yeah, you learn to be under the spell of Maya. See, these are spells, just like magic. Things you see in the movies about witches and warlocks and all that. We're living in that. That's how the Maya controls everybody, is with spells, spelling, words. How do we get free of it? Look, we're free because we transcend the spells. See, we become spellbound by where spells all come from. Spellbound by Krishna, isn't it? Spellbound and loving it. See? Spellbound and unlimited bliss, unlimited happiness, unlimited ecstasy. See? Spellbound, but it's a transcendental spell, a spell of Vrindavan, man, very attractive. I was thinking, I have a feeling there is a collective heart and mind for humans. If that's true, a heart and mind always in the body. Could such a thing, collective body? Well, it's all body, heart, body, mind, material. See? There's a collective soul, that you need to awaken the soul level, where there's God, the transcendental Lord, and our soul. That's what's really important, is to wake up. Because everybody's spellbound by the material modes, and under and less always more or less intelligent. See, this is true intelligence. I mean, it's so simple. The greatest real intelligence and true intelligence is the simple truth. Be in the Lord and be transcendently happy forever. You must become like a little child to enter the kingdom of God. What do you think that means? See, that means the simple truth, man. The simple truth. Be in the Lord, man. And once you do that, that's all you have to do, is just be in loving the Lord, loving relations, and that's it. That's what they're doing in the Garden of Eden. And Vrindavan explained the Garden of Eden. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, arms of Govinda. See, people don't know what it's like anymore. We've forgotten. The soul's been is asleep. So we don't know what it is to get this special protection, to live a life of benediction after benediction, boon after boon, auspiciousness. The Maya leaving the gloves off on you. Always people are always harassed here. Threefold miseries that they don't even know. They're not even defined in the world. Nobody, no, you can't go to school. They can't teach you about the threefold miseries and that Bhagavad Gita teaches you. Can you see how wonderful Prabhupada's books are to bring this to the West? We have no knowledge of this. We're so technological, immersed in nonsense knowledge that doesn't only, oh, whoopee doo, they're making now people who are cashiers, no non-human cashiers, everything now. You walk in the store, you put stuff in the bag and it tracks it and traces it and everything and knows what it's doing in your body probably. They're going to start putting stuff in. They'll know exactly. I mean, this is the life of Maya. Is like, let's imitate God. See? And then we've got to be under that. Maya never does a good job of imitating God, and that's what she wants to teach everybody. The government can never control us as well as the Lord does. It's so good that the Lord himself comes under the control of his own yoga maya. Just like people, they come under the control of Mahamaya and they're miserable more and more. See? The Lord himself says, oh, my yoga maya is so beautiful, so trustworthy. I'll come under it myself. See? That's Bhakti Devi. That's love. Come under the control of loving relations, transcendental loving relations that last forever. These are the kinds of things the Lord shows me chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah. See, these texts also put you under a spell. These are words. Remember, I told you in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. What word is your God? Well, these words are worthy, man. These words open up that the realm of where God is, that He's the imperceivable place. See, you need this spell, otherwise it depends on what word you're hearing. See, these words are not the same exactly as that. This is Mahamaya, put you under Mahamaya's spell and illusion and misery and limitation and curses and you know and slavery. See, these words, they free you, enliven the soul, awaken the soul, give it food. Yeah, Jesus was eating these words of the scriptures, wasn't he? He's always preaching about that. Prabhupada, right? Must be good. I respect these people and more than my own self. I respect Rupa Goswami, who was writing these wonderful words. And when they're writing these words, I trust them. The Lord trusts them. Why shouldn't I trust them? But I don't trust Fauci's wording. I know where he's coming from. But he's doing a service. It's a service to limit everybody. As I did a class yesterday about this. Are you ready to thank the globalists for their work in this world? Are you ready to thank them? No, I want to fight them. Well, go ahead, fight on, man. Until you're ready to thank them. Thank them for their service of limiting you because you believe in the that maya, that illusion. That's their service. That's their work. Is just to limit people so much that they realize I'm wearing a tight friggin' pair of shoes. How can I get them off? Oh well, come on over here. We'll give you a nice, perfect fitting shoe. Just fits right on. Yeah, lots of comfort in that shoe. This shoe here. Oh, you can walk for miles and miles and miles in it. Yeah. See, people need that. That's why it's here. Why do you think people wonder, well, what kind of God? It can't be any God to be like this. Why would he do these? People don't, let me pull a prophet trip on you. No one, this is way in the Bible. You do not think, man does not think like God thinks, but you can. You come here, chant Hare Krishna, you start thinking like the Lord. He'll show you how he's working. He'll show you that he's not such a prick, even though he acts like a prick in this material world, right? Pricking everybody. Boop, like a needling. He's trying to, hey, man, go over to the Lord Chaitanya's grace place and you'll figure it out really quickly why I do this stuff. These people, they're fighting like, oh, this is wrong. They're disconnected from God. And no, this is all part of God's plan, man. He's limiting everybody now because they're so far away from him. Wow, what can he do? This is his mercy, is to use even George Soros when he said, well, he started to feel really enlivened when he said, boy, you know what? When I thought I can act like God in this world, I started to feel really happy and I started to go for it. See, you inspired by the Lord, inspired him to do his thing. Yeah, let me lock him down, man. He got inspired. He got into the service mood. Yeah. It's all like those that the Bhagavatam thing. People don't know. God, you could be so free with this Bhagavatam and with this chanting. People could be so free. You could see the kings, they also got locked up by Kamsa, which was the same thing. All the kings got together, just like all the kings of the world got together, and they got really strong and empowered to lock everything down, locked all the kings up. And then they thanked Krishna. Thank you for locking us up. See, they didn't say, oh, they saw that Krishna was in charge of that also. Thank you for doing that because we became proud. We got away from you. We didn't think we needed you. Isn't that what you look at the new age people? A lot of people they want to God as an energy still. The God he ain't happy with that. It's not enough. Oh, you want to think I'm just an energy? I don't have any hands or feet or any personality and all that. And it's all about you and how great you are. Uh, I'm sorry. Lock them up, man. Put them in jail till they stew a while. Find out who their real liberator. God is the liberator, man. That's why you see we're in Him and He liberates us. Even now, I'm happy in this world. I love it, man. Go down the street in Sankirtan and chant in ecstasy. Make people happy. I'm free in that Lord, man. Everybody, anybody out there ready? How about you guys in religious movements like ISKCONs and all that? Are you ready to be free? Are you still like you like all those rules and regulations? You want to free and love of Krishna, man, just loving Krishna and just be a normal person? You don't have to wear a dhoti. You want to wear a dhoti? Wear a dhoti. You don't want to wear a dhoti? And if any people look at you in your group and say, you're not wearing a dhoti, or sorry, you think, oh, it's sayonara. Who cares? I'm happy because I have my beloved with me. God lives with me. You don't like it? Well, too bad, man. I know who I am. I know where I belong. See? Ready for that kind of life? Or you want always religion and motivated leaders, that are no better than you to rule over you. And that's all that's going on there in religion. They're no better than you. Until love of God awakens in you, you're the same on the same platform, materially and mundane. My disciples are better than 1,000 of those gurus. That any disciple here has ecstatic devotion is better than 1,000 of those gurus. I don't care how many people, it's all a big friggin' show in a bottle that nobody can really see. They're on the outside of the honey jar. It's a humbling talk, huh? All right. So, my dear king, in the material world, the conditioned souls are confronted by death at every step of life. Therefore, who among the conditioned souls would not render service to the lotus feet of Mukunda? My dear king, in the material world, the conditioned souls are confronted by death at every step of life. Therefore, who among the conditioned souls would not render service to the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda? Who? Well, those who are spellbound by the spells of the world. See? Until you turn your attention to the teachings of the devotees who actually have a relationship with being spells of freedom. You want to spell out freedom? That means loving Krishna. See? It's just want to spell freedom? That means love of Krishna. Who wouldn't? Well, everybody that's spellbound under the Mahamaya. That's why you have to start to listen to devotees, liberated devotees, real ones, genuine ones. They got potency. You can feel it, man. You can feel their words. You can feel their understanding. Yeah. Who wouldn't? Well, until you turn your attention to the devotees and preaching and hear what they have to say, Yeah, because they're just preaching these spells, man. Spells of freedom. They're spelling out freedom. Freedom is in these verses, man. I'm just spelling it out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Free your soul. Yeah, this is the whole thing. This one guy says, "Yeah, you're just under a spell in the world. You're under a spell in the world." Yeah. Okay. Well, how do you undo it? I don't know, man. I'm also spelling. All I can do is spell, and I'm trying to get in there some other way, man. Hey, man, you got to come out and spell freedom, man. You need the word of God that comes through real devotees, liberated souls who chant the holy name with great relish, ecstasy. See? Yeah, you got to get under that spell, man. It's a great spell, man. It spells freedom. He spells the truth. We are all free in a relationship with God, and it's transcendental, not material, spiritual. Your soul has to wake up. Ah. Mm. Who would not render service to the lotus feet of Mukunda, who is worshipable even for the greatest liberated souls? Isn't that amazing? This is our, you want to be part of this family? Isn't that amazing? Look at us. We're just nothing, not us, zeros. But we're part of that group because they're ecstatic and we're ecstatic now too. The Lord protects them and the Lord protects us. We're on the same page because we believe in their spells. See? I don't believe in Maya spells anymore. I don't believe in religion spells anymore. It spells limitation, curses, and a lack of freedoms. Okay? So sovereignty and freedom, all these beautiful words are waking up the soul. Because then, even if we were restricted bodily in our freedoms, soul is free. That is. You're already, when you've attained the goal that you came here for, what else is there to do? Even if they lock your body up, you've attained the goal you came here to do. Okay? But if they lock your body up and you didn't attain the goal, what would look, this is so unfair, oh, who's going to save us? Certainly not God. We're not going to look to him. We need, maybe David Icke will save us. Maybe Eckhart Tolle. Maybe Biden. He's sometimes coherent. Maybe Trump. Triumph with Trump. Yeah, he'll save us. And they all run away, don't they? Every one of them have run away. The only one that hasn't run away in my life, Tom, is Krishna. He doesn't run away. Right? We run to him, he runs to us. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? This is a time for this message, isn't it? This is great timing. Perfect timing. So one day, the sage among the demigods, Narada, came to the house of Vasudeva. Actually, River, you want to read a little bit? In the mood? She's. How about you, Tom? You want to read?
I said yes, Maharaj.
Thomas, are you there? Oh, you said yes? You said yes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, you're frozen here, so.
Oh, am I? Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you. You said yes.
What verse are you on, Maharaj?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Which verse are you on? 2.
This is the
I have it up already.
11th canto. Oh, chapter 2 and the verse number
2.
Yeah, verse number 2 we just finished. Number 3 now.
Okay. All glories to the lotus feet of my amazing spiritual master Srila Bhaktivedanta Guru Haridas, who is my Diksha Guru and my Shiksha Guru, who has placed me on this platform to understanding the Lord deep in my heart by being my guide and instructor, showing me how, teaching me how, at every step, to be able to rise out of this darkness of this material world. All glories to your lotus feet, Srila Gaura Haridas, for being the Acharya, for being the Acharya of this age, and taking this responsibility to propagate the movement, the Sankirtan movement, the Prema Sankirtan movement, for this time, for this place, for this circumstance. All glories to you, for being the live wire of the true Parampara, where all descending knowledge is coming down to your lotus feet and emanating to my heart. And emanating to my heart. Always and forever. I hold tight. Always to your lotus feet. To be able to receive always that absolute truth of the Lord. To be able to always be raised and be bound by the Lord and not be bound by this material world. So grateful to you. So grateful to you, my friend and spiritual master. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas. All glories to the 6 Goswamis, who are the honeybees at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya, the Lord of my life. All glories to you, Sri Chaitanya. I offer my respectful obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, whose life and soul is Sri Chaitanya, who has always served Sri Chaitanya. Thank you to Nityananda for accepting me as your servant. All glories to you. All glories to your lotus feet, Avadut. I offer my respectful obeisances to Advaita Acharya Prabhu for calling, repeatedly calling the Lord to awaken from the milk ocean and ascend on this earth to save all fallen souls. All glories to you, Advaita. I offer my respectful obeisances to Gadadhar Pandit, to Srivas Pandit. All glories to your lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Lord's intimate devotees, wherever they may be. Please show yourself. Join us. I offer my respectful obeisances to Shrimati Radharani, the personification of pure devotion, the greatest devotees. Please and thank you for accepting me as your maidservant, so I too can relish in the nectar of devotion to the lotus feet of the King of Braj. All glories to the King of Braj, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the King, the King of Kings, the cause of all causes, the creator, maintainer, and destroyer, the one who has eyes, arms, and legs everywhere, who resides in the hearts of all living entities. The giver of everything. All glories to your lotus feet, my Lord of Lords. my Lord and Master, I offer my respectful obeisances to all those intimate devotees and devotees in the Sangha of Srila Guru Haridas. All glories to your lotus feet, my God brothers and sisters, my relatives and friends. All glories to you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please be here with me in this reading of the Bhagavad Gita. All you exalted personalities, because there is nothing I can do without you. Please help me. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Text 3. One day, the sage among the demigods, Narada, came to the house of Vasudeva after worshipping Narada with suitable paraphernalia, seating him comfortably and respectfully bowing down to him. Vasudeva spoke as follows. Srila Vasudeva said, "My Lord, your visit, like that of a father to his children, is for the benefit of all living beings. You especially help the most wretched among them, as well as those who advanced on the path towards the Supreme Lord." Uttama Sloka. The activities of demigods lead to both misery and happiness for living beings. The activities of demigods lead to both misery and happiness for living beings, but the activities of great saints like you, who have accepted the infallible Lord as their very soul, results only in the happiness of all beings.
That's a better deal, isn't it? Isn't that a better deal? It's happiness and this. Let me read. See, the activities demigods lead to misery and happiness for the living beings, but it's temporary. The happiness is temporary, and the misery is temporary, and it's just cycling back and forth, back and forth. And that's why people get addicted to that. You can see this in the stock market and the crypto world. People are addicted to that happiness and distress. It goes up and it goes down.
Up and down.
Everything up and down. So this is the happiness. So this is so limited. See, but the activities of devotees, which is basically preaching the essence of all truth, eternal happiness, results in the happiness of all living beings. Anybody could listen to this, and everybody will experience a happiness beyond this up and down thing that's only temporary. This is permanent happiness, especially when that's why the whole point of this sadhu sangha is you get addicted to transcendental happiness, to what is transcendental. And all of a sudden you want to do it, and you want to do it forever. You notice you guys aren't getting bored.
Yeah.
You guys have been here over almost 5 years, and you're still coming. Why don't you go away? Just practically every day. Even Tom's coming a lot. It must be some kind of special happiness, and it is, because this you never get tired of. I'm already tired of the crypto. I'm bored, man. I don't like the up and down, man. It's ridiculous. Bored, man. You know, it's a great lesson, man. That's boring. This is enlivening, man. That makes me happy every day. This goes for everything in the world, and the material happiness and distress of the demigods and the demons, and their interplay. One day the demons win, and then they lose one day. Same thing, demigods. It's victory today, and then there's we defeat them tomorrow. Yeah, but the activities of Hari Kata, talking about eternal truth, the truth that lasts forever, man, it's always going to be here, man. Even when we all die from these bodies, we never die, but say the body dies, this truth is always going to be real. It's always going to be, and we'll be with it because we'll go on like this because that's our life now. See, we have new life. Yeah, people don't have that. They don't have life everlasting. They have life that brings them back into the cycle of birth and death and birth and death. All we have is life and life after life after life after life. Always eternal life. Is enlivening of the soul. Man, are we lucky? Look at River and her prayers and every relishing all this. This is what these people write books. They put prayers in these transcendental books like this. I have disciples like this. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm amazed. Their words are like prayers in the books you're reading. Why? Because they're just like those devotees. They also had feelings like that, praying from their hearts. Yeah, see, Amy, she's got she enjoys this. See, you enjoy what's eternal. That's a great blessing of God on you. Blessing of Krishna is because you enjoy what is of eternal nature. That's why I'm here every day, because I enjoy this. I enjoy talking about the Lord. I'm chanting his name, relishing that happiness. It's life. There's many different vines that people are trying to get life from. They have different fruits in this world, and this one is the only eternal one. See, this is a true vine. This is the vine that gives real life, not fake life. There's a lot of fake life out there, you know. Because these vines, you see, people represent like a vine, and you go and you listen to them. What are you getting? Are you getting real life? Real life is this, enlivened by the transcendental topics of God, by his name. There's no other life than that that's real in this whole universe. So we got a monopoly on this preaching. Unless you're like this, we got the monopoly. Unless you get real life from conclusive truth and you're not afraid to speak it because you're going to be kicked out of ISKCON because you're not towing the party line. That's why you can't do this, because you will. You start speaking the truth and you say, oh, this guru, I'm not even really bona fide, actually shouldn't be worshiping me. You'll be kicked out because they don't want that, because that's called religion still. And until you're ready to transcend religion, you're stuck in it, man. Stuck with your disciples, heaping their karma on you. And your disciples are stuck with you following blind leaders who can't really do idling your time. You're stuck until you're ready to accept, the real devotees who have real bhakti, who have the real life, the real vines of life with ripened transcendental fruit. See, ripened. You can see it, man. Ooh, look at that. There's a transcendental fruit on that tree. Look at that branch. See? Can you see a branch of ecstatic devotion? Well, wasn't Lord Chaitanya that? Wasn't Madhavinda Puri that? Wasn't all those devotees like that? Wasn't Prabhupada like that? Can you recognize who else is like that here now in 2022? Are your gurus, are they a branch of ripened ecstatic fruit? Can you tell? Does it have the qualities you read about in Prabhupada's books? Ecstatic qualities with the tears and the nectar. No. That's not out there, not that I've seen. And nobody will talk about it, right? Oh, let's keep. Emperor has clothes, even though he's nude. Don't talk about these things. Oh well, we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to have a discussion. I'm not dependent on these guys. They can't add anything. We can add to them, but they can't add to us. Go ahead there, River. Read on.
Those who worship the demigods receive reciprocation from the demigods in a way just corresponding to offerings. The demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow. But sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen. Those who worship the demigods receive reciprocation from the demigods in a way just corresponding to offerings. The
See,
demigods are attendants.
if you follow this path, you receive reciprocation from God, and it's unlimited. It's just unlimited bliss. You start to relish what He relishes unlimitedly. It just always will increase. It'll always be freshening you up. It's like you don't have to go to toilet to freshen up anymore. You know, everybody's going to toilet. Isn't that saying let's go to the toilet to freshen up? That's the world, man. That's Krishna saying that's what you do as a human being in the world. You go to the toilet or beauty parlor, and they heap artificial things on you to make you look beautiful. See, so you got to go and put things on to adorn, like women here. They put this stuff on to look really, attractive and everything, to agitate people, and oh, look at this, they like me. See, the lust, they think that's it. You want that kind of thing? It's so low class. Yeah. Here, you follow this path, you attract God. When you hear from His real devotees, empowered devotees, you attract the transcendental Lord's attention. Now, then you understand everything is clear. Oh, I was sitting there trying to get attention of people in Maya. Women and men doing it. Oh, I'm trying to get this beautiful woman's attention who is in Maya, totally materially thinking about mundane stuff. Less intelligent. You think you want that? And it's vice versa. Same thing. Everybody's trying to attract people in the mundane world. See? You go to a devotee, you get to learn to attract God's attention. Oh, and you get His attention. Oh man, everything becomes a blessing. That's why He comes in, yeah, and His devotees come. Is just to bring our attention to Him, and how to do that, and follow the real path to that.
Yes. Yes.
So simple. Okay? And if you don't listen to devotees who have gotten the attention, you got to find somebody who's gotten the attention of the Lord. And there are symptoms. The Lord says, "Oh, this person's got my attention. I'm going to live in that temple, and I'm not going to leave." Do you see Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya leaving rivers in Lalita Ganga's temple there, or Johan's, or anybody? You see, Govinda is always enlivened to do devotional service. Where is that coming from? Well, they've attracted the attention of the Lord because they came the right way. See, you go in the wrong way, you don't get this. You don't become ecstatic like this. I don't care how many people. Don't you know the way Maya's work? My Lord's Maya is great, man. She's good, man, but she's not that good. She's good, but not as good as this. Not as good as our program. See? She's good at faking you out. See? But not good enough with the truth here. See? The truth fakes you in. No, doesn't fake you. Brings you in and takes you out of the fake out thing. He fakes you out of the game of being awakened. She's good at deceiving the world. That's what she does, is deceive the world. Why are we here? We're here to overturn the tables. like Jesus did, right? Got to overturn the tables. Turn the tables on her, man. Isn't it great? I love fighting like this. It's great exercise, for Krishna. Just like overcome it. Let's do some shadow boxing. Oh, this boxing in shadows. What is he? She's a wimp. That's why you come listen here. You get strong. I don't care who you are. You just come listening here, and you're going to get strong because we're just shadow boxing here. Maya is nothing. And then after a while, she becomes nothing for you to overcome. You look at it, wow, look at this. I've been believing in this bullshit. It's been bullshitting me all this time. Now I know the Lord is protecting me. I have the arms of Govinda protecting me, just like Dwarka. Why? Why is Dwarka protected? Because they're devotees, and they're surrendered to the Lord. They trust the Lord. They know the Lord is very transcendently potent. What is the statement of a devotee here? You just basically show people you trust the Lord, and the Lord is trustworthy. You show the world how he acts in your life, and is benedictory in every way. You got to show an example. Not a show bottle, not like, oh, let me put on a big show. It's like dress for success thing. That's the world. That's Maya. That's in religion. They're all dressing for success still. Well, we'll be successful. We'll dress and sit on our high seats and prance around. That's Maya's way. See, we dress for success too, but in the real way, the real dress for success is chant the holy name in ecstasy and relish it. And now that's the right dress. Are you dressed up like that, man? Can people see those clothes? Hey, man, that's the real ornaments. Hey, man, can we see that your ears have rubies on them? And your tongue is diamonds. You have a diamond drill, sword, Excalibur. The devotee's tongue is like Excalibur, man. Man, is it sharp. Watch out. Right? People are afraid to come and duel over here. Hey, man, we got Excalibur here. Come on, man, Acharya Dave. Let's see how to deal with Excalibur. We don't want Tom to pass out. Yeah, go ahead, open the door there. Go ahead, River.
The demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow. But sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen. A Brahman, although I am satisfied simply seeing you, I still wish to inquire about those duties which give pleasure to the Supreme.
That's a nice one. What duties gives people think? Well, let's see what kind of duties. Let's see. I can perform this ceremony and this rule and this regulation and all that. And and a lot of people are satisfied with that, and because in their heart, it's this is better than the wanton sense gratification. Having a little discipline in my life, I actually feeling good about that. But really, now Bhagavatam, now what duty really gives pleasure? Now that's one that feels like no duty at all. That's where the Lord wants to bring us. This effortless satisfaction that gives him pleasure, that gives us pleasure at the same time, gives him the highest pleasure, and we get to taste that highest pleasure and glorify that in this world. Say, hey, man, come and taste the highest pleasure, God's pleasure, man, God's happiness. See, this is the level we're working on. Is anybody out there ready for this? I mean, you give pleasure, you feel happy doing disciplines and renunciations and all that. Hey, man, you want to try this pleasure? This is better, man. It's easier too. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't need a lot of big. I don't need to go to an external temple to do this, and don't need to, to have all this money to create build a temple and all the paraphernalia and the flowers and all that stuff and all the time I got to put in. I mean, this is so much easier and so much deeper. This is God's pleasure. God's pleasure. He doesn't have to do anything to invoke pleasure other than devotional service, other than worshiping of his devotees. He glorifies his devotees. The devotees glorify him. And everybody's happy because it's the truth, man. The Lord glorifies the devotees. We glorify the devotees because they're the door to this treasure. And we glorify the Lord because attachment to that Lord is the door to this treasure. There's no other topics really worthy to really hone in on in this material universe other than how to attain the pleasure of the Lord, on his pleasure, his level of pleasure. And it is exquisite. Everything comes from that. A devotee could just sit there and chant in ecstasy, and everything will come to them. Look at that lady. There was who was it? The hunter was like this. The hunter became attracted to chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and everything came. Everything he needed. He became recognized as a saint. People thought, "Oh, he's a real saint here." Same thing with the prostitute, that wanted to bring Haridas. Now Haridas said, "Yeah, just chant Hare Krishna and relish the name." And she became a great saint, and then everything came. Everybody, worship, appreciation, everything comes because the Lord lives inside the body of those devotees. Why shouldn't everything be beautiful? Can you imagine? The Lord awakens in you and says, "I'm going to I choose this temple to live." You don't think your life is going to be auspicious? You don't think the lives of anybody around you is going to be auspicious? You don't think the life of 21 generations backwards and forwards is going to be auspicious? That's all. This is treasure. This is what you get here. Are you getting it over there in ISKCON or Gaudiya Smriti? Are you getting that? Can you feel God's presence to the point of tears and ecstasy? Great ecstasy where people can actually see you're actually ecstatic. And you're not worried, well, if they see I'm ecstatic, maybe I won't be liked. That ain't ecstasy, man. You ain't there yet. Well, I don't know. I'm not supposed to show, man. My Guru Dev will come out of the clouds, man. Narayan Raj will come out of the clouds and you show the tear. I'm going to put a thunderbolt over on your head. How dare you publicly show that? You have that voice in your mind still? I ain't got it. Never had it.
No.
Don't want it either. No. To me, the verse is my life. Okay? Those who chant the Hare Krishna mantra that have prema, man, sometimes they laugh, sometimes they cry, choke up, jump around like a frog. And here's the clincher, not caring about what the outsiders are thinking. Who cares what they're thinking, man? I'm beyond the thoughts. I don't need those. Those are spells, man. You're in the spell. I got into the spell bound by Krishna, man. I'm bound by that spell of ecstatic worship. You're bound by the spell. What are people thinking of me? I got to live my life to please people. I'm a people pleaser. Didn't Jesus say that about the Pharisees? You don't think these Brahmins and sannyasis are like they're people pleasers still? They're peer pleasers. They're peers. I don't know the peer. I will get excommunicated. Then how can we become guru, man? How can we become guru? We won't have any buildings. We won't have any reputations, and we won't have any money. See, that's children. That's practice. See? All real acharyas start from nothing, really. Prabhupada started from nothing. Bhakti is nothing. He rented a building, and because he had potency, things happened. We started from nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nobody coming. And look, people are coming. There's because it's the potency. Krishna says, hey, it's potency. I want to show you. It's all about my favor and the Parampara's favor, the Vaishnava's favor. Everything will come from that. Our preaching will develop because of the favor and the empowerment of the Parampara and its blessings. Eh, always like that. Always will be like that. If you don't have the favor of the parampara, what you're doing and what you're building will go away or just stay material. And you'll just be, you'll use Prabhupada's books just so you can have some material big temples and stuff and ring the bells and take your prasadam. That's it. You won't be able to do this. You won't be able to awaken ecstatic devotion in people. Now, that's really substantial. Didn't Prabhupada call them bell ringers? A lot of his guys said they're just bell ringers. They just take the big title Acharya, wear their dhotis, and collect some followers who collect for them. And they ring the bell, build the temples, ring the bell. They're still doing it, still building big temples. They're not like the Narayan Maharaj. There's still not enough groups. They break down the temples and make new ones. It must be bored, man. They don't have this. Oh, I don't need to break down. I got a temple here, man. It works really good. Temple always ringing bells. Don't you hear the bells tolling every day here? Let's ring the bell, man. Ring the bell is get the attention of the world. That's the whole point. This is the way I ring my bell. Do, like this. Like this kind of preaching. This is a bell. This gets the attention, man. Hey, man, boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. What are you doing over there, man? What are you doing over there? Oh, well, come see, man. Check it out, man. You may not like it, but you'll be impressed. We'll make an impression on you. Go ahead, River, read on.
Okay. I wish to inquire about those duties which give pleasure to the Supreme Personality of God.
See, the pleasure to the Supreme Lord is transcendental. We're here just to show that. We want to show what brings pleasure to the Supreme Lord, but in the effective stage where you can actually see, is that the pleasure, Lord? Yeah. Well, the devotee is meant to represent Krishna. That means you represent his pleasure. Who's representing his pleasure now? Huh? Where's that representation? Well, the only place I've seen it is here. This is this kind of pleasure. That's what I read about in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Lord was in ecstatic pleasure. That was God's pleasure. Oh, that's our pleasure too. I guess we're representing that same pleasure. Wow. How good Maya's hidden this great secret, right? With people in front of their faces. Isn't that amazing? Right in front of their faces, hiding this. Yeah, go ahead there. Actually, Lalita, do you want to read? Do you feel up to it? Do you want to read a little bit? Yeah? Yeah, read where she left off. Thank you there, River. Great reading.
Okay, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Oh, glories to you. Thank you so much. I agree with everything Yamuna said, so I'm not going to repeat it. Because the whole Sangha say, when will you start reading? I read this so many times. When will the reading start?
When the reading start, yeah.
So let's continue. Anyway, it's fantastic to be here and to have the chance to serve the Lord in this way. So those who worship the demigods, they receive reciprocation from the demigods in a way just corresponding to the offering. The demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow, but
Yeah,
sadhus,
and the Lord destroys the karma. Isn't it great?
yeah,
Mm.
that's unbelievable.
This is why this path destroys karma. And people are so they can't understand it. This is the thing. You trying to destroy karma on doing Vaidhi, it's so hard because you're still under the karma. If you don't become attracted to the name to the point of ecstasy, you're still under the laws of karma because that's what's going to be your feeling. You're going to be feeling like you know, I really am material. I have material feelings still. That's called materialistic Vaishnav. You have to become a spiritual Vaishnava. Your spirit has to be awakened where it's naturally attracted to Krishna. Nature is not a discipline. It's your nature to worship Krishna because you're awakened now and you know that highest pleasure. Why do you think God doesn't give it up? Because it's fantastic. Why would we give it up when we're awakened? Because it's fantastic. This karmic pleasure, this up and down thing is so boring, man. It's just same old, man. Yeah. And it's if that's all you got, you're gonna come back again and do it again and again and again. If that's all you got. That's why you gotta get this. The only way out is in this. In you got to go in through the gate, the real devotees who have this ecstatic, eternal happiness of God. No other way. Yeah. Go ahead there, Lolita.
Can I just ask a question about what you said about those 21 generations that have benefit of our worship? It's a question that I wanted to ask for such a long time. um, what about, for instance, my husband who died?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he was not a family member in the blood, but does he have benefits of my
Yeah, of
worship?
course. Yeah, yeah. Anybody related to you.
That's
See, it's
great.
all relation. Yeah. Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's jumping around now. He's got a nice body.
Great, he couldn't walk. He couldn't move for 25 years.
Holy shit, he must be happy now. Like my brother when he was like miserable for the last 15 years, because of emphysema and all these complications and all this. And then he dies, and his wife, I'm just thinking, God, the guy's free, man. You should be here.
Yeah.
But people get attached, and that's the nature, they just, it's all, rasa, material illusion, rasa, it's just all, it's not clean, it's not clear, it's not eternal, you know. I was just happy. Oh, he's free, man. Now he's free. God, before every day is a big fucking torture, torture for everybody. Just anyway, go ahead there, Lolita.
Okay, thank you. Uh, uh, the demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow, but sadhus, they are always actually merciful to the fallen. Oh, Pravana, oh, Pravana. Although I am satisfied simply by seeing you, I still wish to inquire about those duties which give pleasure to the Supreme. personality.
See, liberated soul, they know that real happiness is giving pleasure to the Lord. That's enlightenment. See, they and other. If you don't know that, you're not liberated. You think
Yeah.
it's all about your pleasure, but it's about the Lord's pleasure is our pleasure. That's that's when you become like on the same platform, as good as God, they say. If you're not that kind of guru, man, you're not a real guru, really. You got to be as good as God. That means God, you give pleasure to the Lord, and that pleasure is seen in this world. It's as you they say, wow, you're really enjoying life. Well, actually, it's my Lord that's enjoying. I'm here to give him pleasure, and that's my happiness. That's my pleasure too, is his pleasure. Where that's how you're liberated. You have to be in his pleasure, giving him pleasure. And it's not like a sourpuss face. I'm giving pleasure to the Lord, or dry eyes and dry this. No, you're giving pleasure to the Lord, man. You're going to be as ecstatic as God is. Matter of fact, God's ecstasy will be reflected in your energy, in your happiness, in your. That's guru. Show us God's pleasure if you're gurus out there. Anyone. Are you a real guru? Are you really worthy of obeisances and worship being as good as God? Show us that you have God's pleasure. Otherwise, you're not as good as God if you don't have his pleasure. And if you've got his pleasure, you'll have what the symptoms we read in the books. Tears are pouring out of your eyes like they were pouring out of Lord Chaitanya. You'll be holy laughter. Laughter will be coming out of your heart, just like out of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and their followers. You will be worshiping like that. You'll be very eager to glorify the Lord in truth, not in lie, not in speculation, in truth, to the point where you liberate people by your word, because whoever believes in it will feel this enlivenment like you feel it, feel God's pleasure like you feel it, and experience it. Otherwise, not. Very simple, all or nothing. Go ahead, Lalita.
Any mortal who faithfully hears about them is freed from all kinds of fear.
Yeah, faithfully hears from a real devotee, aren't they? Isn't he hearing from a real devotee? If you Do you think this works when you hear from a non-devotee, a person who
No,
doesn't have ecstatic devotion, who doesn't have the pleasure of the Lord, which is ecstatic devotion?
no,
It doesn't work, because the
nothing.
person will just speculate on all these things. Will teach you that something else is higher because they don't know.
The proof
The
is they all
only
stay the same.
what?
They all stay the same dry. I also saw pictures of Radharesh again. All the same. They don't. There is no evolution in those devotees. We have a big evolution
Yeah.
because of your association.
Evolving to the devotional platform and preaching that, awakening souls in this world. They need this. This is the real food. This is the real life, the real vine. If you don't have these kinds of qualities of showing the pleasure of the Lord, where people can be confident, wow, the scriptures do say that, and they are showing that. I think I can have confidence of being in this tree. They're real. They're not faking me out. Maya's always faking everybody, a faking religion. Look, the Pharisees were faking their disciples out, right? What's the difference? A Brahmin is faking you out. They can't purify themselves or anybody else. See, you got to hear the preaching of God through liberated souls. Isn't that? I'm just preaching Lord Chaitanya's preaching. He says a Brahmin can't purify you, can't purify themselves unless they're engaged in the pleasure of the Lord, the ecstatic worship. Hey, we're preaching the real message that delivers people. Because then, oh, that's all I have to do. Turn my attention to that teaching. Yeah, that's it, man. Listen to these words and you'll get this benefit. You'll become like the guru, isn't it? Aren't you guys becoming like the guru? You're even better. More ecstasy than I get, you lucky persons. How come Krishna does that, man? I should have the most ecstasy. They got Lalita has more and the rivers more than I
Good
do.
marriage.
These
You,
guys.
you have so much more and for so much longer. Such an amount of knowledge, such a luggage.
Okay, go ahead. Read on.
Ah, in a previous birth, on this earth, I worship the Supreme Lord. I worship the Supreme Lord, Ananta, who alone can award liberation, but because I desired to have a child, I didn't worship him for liberation. Thus, I was bewildered by the Lord's illusory energy. My dear Lord, you're always true in your vow. Please instruct me clearly so that by your mercy I may, I may easily free myself from.
Yeah, people are worshiping for some motive, even God. So, what are you worshiping God for? Well, I want to become guru. I want money. I want a wife. I want this. I want that. Okay, fine. But ultimately, to worship, like he said, I didn't worship the Lord for liberation. See, and then some people, oh, yeah, I want to be liberated, Lord. Please, I'm suffering. I want to be liberated. Okay. But this is a step, this is another notch above all of that. Because I'm not worshiping the Lord for liberation. I'm just worshiping him for taste, simply to give him pleasure. Because chanting Hare Krishna and tasting the nectar of devotion and glorifying the Lord is his highest pleasure. Okay? So this is called pure devotional service. You're worshiping the Lord in the purest sense, not just to be liberated. Because you could worship the Lord to be liberated, and that maybe he'll just liberate you, and that's it. Okay, where do you go from here? Well, you stay there until you're bored, until you want to move on.
My material existence, oh, sorry,
No, go ahead.
which is full of many dangers and keeps us constantly bound in fear. Sukadeva Goswami.
Say that one again. Say that again.
Yeah. Yes, please instruct me clearly so that by your mercy I may easily free myself from material existence, which is full of many dangers and keeps us constantly bound in fear.
Hear that? Easily free me. Please instruct me so I will easily be freed. You know why it's not easy to be freed in with these other teachers? Because they're not self-realized.
Are you going to do it
They,
yourself?
yeah, and so they're not freed usually, and or they're just a little more free than you or something. But you can't get easy freedom until you're around a devotee who has got it. See, that's why Jesus talked about this. He talked about it as he said, you need a strong man that's stronger than this Maya. You need somebody that is bound the Maya. See, and then you can be easily free, because otherwise everybody is bewildered by the Maya, more or less. Only the empowered devotee is empowered to free others in that way easily. Otherwise, you're always getting some misinformation. See, misdirection, some bad, ill advice on some level. See, you can't cure the real illness. That's why it's called ill advice. It causes illness. You need to be freed by the empowered devotee. See, and you'll be freed easily. You'll see, wow, man, that was easy. Boy, you saved me 40 years. I could have been another 40 years worshiping religionist. I didn't know that my guru had to be, better than me. I didn't even know what it was meant to be better than me. People don't know what is the standard to see who is actually better than you. Hey, that's why you want to be easily freed. You just need this information, but it has to come from a reliable source. Oh, are they better than you? Yeah. Well, do they have? Do you have dry eyes? Yes. Do they have dry eyes? Yes. Well, there you go. You're on the same platform. You're dry-eyers. Dryers. We'll just call you dryers. Call them dryers now. Okay, the dryers out there.
Dry prunes.
The dryers. We got a new word for the dryers. The dry eyes.
The dry eyes.
Yeah, go ahead there.
O King Sukadeva Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Devasira Radha, he was pleased by the questions of the highly intelligent Vasudeva, and because they suggested the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They reminded Narada of Lord Krishna. Thus, Krishna replied to Vasudeva as follows. Sri Narada, he said, O best of the Sattvatas, you have
Okay, let's stop there for a second. Hey, Shama-san, welcome. How's it going over there? Give us a report. She's frozen. Are you frozen?
Hare Krishna, Guru
Yeah,
Maharaj.
there you go.
No.
Yeah.
Yes? Sorry, but my Restream doesn't want to cooperate. Never.
That's okay. I think we hear
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes? Nice to see you all.
Yeah.
I say I'm super duper grateful. And I did so much. And I cannot believe, I cannot believe that that he lives in. I cannot understand. I enjoy it on so many levels all the time. This is like the doors are open all the time, like 24/7. It's such a blessing. And yesterday I had also opportunity to talk to my students about one of his from, and I teach him 2 years yoga. He speak only, and he's writing me letters or some recordings average 2 times per half year, and he's showing grateful. And he said yesterday that although what's happening with him and he feels very alone, he sees this zombie around, this injustice and so on, somehow he experienced the bliss and calm, and this state became very steady, and he understood what I taught him, that and so on. And then I told him that let's us talk, I will call you. And I called him, and he had still this sentimental, for example, he said, okay, I believe that I am not this body. I experienced this beautiful bliss. But what about who cannot allow what we can allow, who has the lower standard or the war or they are raped, whatever, they're suffering. And I explained him according to Vedic lecture, like I said, Michael, don't worry. You were so many times in those all roles, and I experienced how this material nature, action and reaction. And then I told him that I am devotee, and since we know each other, then you are getting blessings, and this works for you. That's why you experience what you experience. And he said something like, he said, my meeting of devotee of Lord was the best event in my life. And yeah, so I realized more and more that this living with Lord, this is something it's not from time to time. You have to be this. You have to embody this. And I am becoming this more and more and more. And I have this feeling that it will be never-ending story. And sometimes I have opportunity to talk about with people, who are ready to be activated, who are ready to start to suffer. And sometimes I'm just doing this from this vibration. I feel that vibration, I feel that vibration thinks and transform lives. And this is, and yeah, nothing changed since last report. I am aware that your preaching made that connection stronger and alive and permanent and so clear, I work a lot, 7 days per week, I'm so tired. My boyfriend has to make an appointment with me, and but inner is like it's awesome. It's beautiful. It's mega. I love it. Thank you. Oh my God! I
Yeah.
woke up
Well,
today.
that's
I
the
woke up
thing.
today. I woke up today, and I decided to have not alarm, and to just to rest a little bit from this week. And I was laying one, I just could eat the Krishna name, I was just thinking about him, and in my head, in my hands, in my mind, somewhere there. And I was experiencing this name ever fresh, ever fresh. And it gave me such a pleasure. Oh, top. Nothing smells, nothing tastes like this. You are just untouchable, The other's ego, the people are saying that terrible. You cannot do any of this, but you just, amazing stuff, amazing drag, best. Okay, I finish.
Yeah, no, that's because you believe in the empowered words here, that they're true, that this works, and that's why they feel it from you. It's like when Jesus said, if they hear from you, it's like they're hearing from me, because see, you believe in these words, you believe in this line, see, you believe in Guru like this, therefore that you spread that, you're empowered in the line. See, you're in the line, and then people feel it. So the Lord is showing you, see, it works. The people will feel the shelter through your preaching. And that goes for everybody here. People, when you share with others, and if they believe in your words, it's like believing in these words. Same thing, because you believe in them, and then this is disciplic line. This is how we pass it on. Right? If you're not empowered, this doesn't work. Not like this. You have to trick people. They got to trick them, and use Prabhupada's books, and then they give them something else, something of a low standard, and they say they're on the higher standard. It's all trick, and then eventually people leave. Because it's not solid. You need a solid foundation, not a lie. If you build your foundation on something, on speculation or a lie, it doesn't stand. It has to be
Guru
solid, and yeah, what? Go ahead.
I had a lot of I had a lot of yoga sessions the last 3 weeks in studio, like 4 times per week sometimes, And before I was like, my one accord and Hare Krishna, and they were singing with me. Maybe two people, they were not so convinced. And since 2 weeks, I'm doing such a bad job, they like 970 people. I printed the mantras and I'm doing for my voice, but I'm trying to stay concentrated because I can fly away and then I lose my, tempo and so on. So I'm singing so loud in mantras. I'm shouting like Hari Bol, and I see they are pleased. They have Lalita's cheeks, Bhakta's cheeks, and they are pleased. They wow, it works really.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's it, man. See, so this fruit is growing. This tree is growing, and it's being fed by Lord Chaitanya. That's proof that it's otherwise it wouldn't grow, it wouldn't endure. See? So
You are amazing. You are a warrior.
She's under the umbrella.
yeah, I like to fight, man. I like to sword play.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to read a little bit there of Srimad Bhagavatam there, Shamaguri? Yeah. Read where she left off.
It's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, Verse 11.
Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter, which one?
Canto 11, Book 11, Canto 11, Chapter 2, Verse 12.
Yeah, please give me a few seconds because this laptop is very, very slow. 10. I have only Prabhupada's book, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. I don't have 11.
Yeah,
That's
but you've got to look in database.
Uh-huh.
Prabhupada books is only until 10, but if you look in database, you have more cantos.
Yeah, look at the database.
Lalita, how is your life? Yeah, I'm going there. Lalita, how is going on?
It's okay. We had an earthquake this night. The house was shaking. Half an hour later, Balaram came down and said, "Come on, get out of the house, get out of the house." But there was not a second one. Little earthquake, So, yeah,
Krishna
it's a strange season.
shakes earth for you.
No problem. I wasn't afraid. Not at all.
Okay. I believe you. 11.
Two.
Which chapter, Lalita? Okay.
Two, Shamasan.
Maharani meets the 9. Which text?
Verse 11. 11.
So,
11.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So all glories to our little koala bear, amazing Chico guru. I mean, to Bhakta Tom lately, we couldn't have a better guru, like free from this all religion clothes and all this show, all this covering, just with his t-shirt and in his van and being not compromised. He's amazing. So I really I am aware that what I have in me and what I experience, it's like, I know that sounds egoistic, but it's my experience. I experience this on daily life. So it's like it makes my life amazing, suspicious and colorful. And because I have this, I know now that it's because of him, you know? There was something in me my whole life, but I couldn't name it, catch it, shape it, understand content this, and now it's like, so all glories to best Guru Maharaj, Chico of all Chicos, and to you, my sweet, to having place for having for me in this Sangha. Thank you. Sri Narada said, O best of the Sattvatas, you have quite correctly asked about the eternal duty of the living entity towards the Supreme Lord. Such devotional service to the Lord is so potent that its performance can purify the entire universe. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, or by praising the devotional service of others, even persons who hate the demigods and all other livings being can be immediately purified. You have made me remember my Lord, the supremely blissful personality of Godhead, Narayana. The Supreme Lord is so auspicious that whoever hears and chants about him becomes completely pious. To explain the devotional service of the Lord, sages have related the ancient history of the conversation between the great soul king Videha and the sons of Rzhabha. Swayambhuva Manu had a son named Maharaja Priyavrata, and among Priyavrata's son was Agnidhara. From Agnidhra was born Nabi, whose son was known as Rasabhava. Sri Rasabhadeva is accepted as an expansion of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. He incarnated in this world to propagate those religious principles and lead living entities to ultimate liberation. He had 100 sons, all perfect in Vedic knowledge. Of the 100 son of Lord Rasbhadeva, the eldest, Bharata, was completely devoted to Lord Narayana. It is because of Bharata's fame that this planet is now celebrated as the great Bharata Varsa. King Bharata rejected this material world